What's going on, Wolfpack? You're very welcome to another video here on Degenerate Watch. Thank you very much for joining me. In this video we're going to be taking a look at 3 different pursuits in 3 different states, all on the US East Coast. We're going to be out with the officers of the NYPD in Queens, New York. We'll also be in Silver Springs, Florida with the Marion County Sheriff's Department. But first we're off to Atlanta in Georgia, where the Zone 2 Crime Suppression Unit have located a vehicle that was involved in the crime of entering vehicles earlier in the day. Let's take a look. I was certain that when they stopped there, they were either going to give up or try bail.
The vehicle is taking off, continuing eastbound on RDA, making a quick right turn to go southbound on RDA.
Fortunately, it's night time and there are less people around.
Alright, 41, I'm gonna stay with the driver. The driver is pushing eastbound from the vehicle. Everybody's pushing towards back.
Yeah, you gonna be down. Hey, get another one. Get him, go.
Looks like they got one that
Oh, we're gonna need to get up a perimeter and
Have a seat for now. Have a seat.
Bro, I can't breathe, bro. Please.
Have a seat,
Bro, can I get something to drink, please?
We'll call Grady for you.
Can I get something to drink?
As you've seen there, folks, the driver was later identified as 23-year-old Deshante Andrews. And arising from this escapade, Mr. Andrews has racked himself up several charges. They include failure to signal, fleeing and attempting to elude police, reckless driving, hit and run, obstruction of a police officer and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And of course you'll note there that they were referring to him as the adult suspect. And that's because the 4 other individuals involved in this incident with Mr. Andrews were juveniles. And those were 2 14-year-olds and 2 15-year-olds. One of the 14-year-olds was charged with obstruction, possession of a firearm by a minor and theft by receiving. The other 14-year-old and 2 15-year-olds were each charged with obstruction. As I said earlier, the police believed that the vehicle had been involved in several car break-ins earlier in the day. When they bailed out of the car and the police gave chase, they said that the driver dropped several items as he ran, including a glove and a window puncher. If I was to take a wild guess here, I'd say that Mr. Andrews was the ringleader and probably had those teenagers out doing his bidding, breaking into cars for him while he acted as the getaway driver essentially. It's probably the usual story here of impressionable teenagers being led down the wrong path by someone like Mr. Andrews, bedazzled by the prospect of some easy money. Let's just hope the parents can do something to change the direction that these teens are going in before they all end up like Mr. Andrews, convicted felons before they're even 25. In the end, Mr. Andrews was taken to the Fulton County Jail while the teenagers were charged and released to their guardians. Next up, we're off to Silver Springs in Florida and we're going to be with Deputy Jamie Latham of the Marion County Sheriff's Office. And around 2 AM, Deputy Latham spotted a vehicle swerving while driving along East Fort King Street. The deputy activated his emergency lights and siren to try conduct the traffic stop, but the suspect, who was later identified as Brian Bennett, turned down a dirt road and refused to pull over. Let's take a look.
66 voices to 16,900 block East Fort King. 428 Uniform Bravo 37 Hotel in a red Bronco.
He may be suspected of DUI, but at least he's using his turn signals. Let's just hope he's not trying to recreate the famous Bronco chase.
Northbound on 169th Avenue, still rolling. He's not stopping. He's going to be for signal 1.
The old urban myth in play here among intoxicated drivers that once you get back to your residence, you're safe.
You get 16,000 watts. Going into a yard.
As I said there, I don't know if it's an urban myth among intoxicated drivers that when they get back to their residence that they're safe. I think some of them just want to get the car back on the driveway in an attempt to not get it towed, but I've also seen others argue that they are now on their driveway so the officer can't do anything. But unfortunately for Mr. Bennett here, that's not going to fly. So now that we've come to a halt after that not so high speed pursuit, we're going to get out and see the view from Officer Latham's body cam.
Show me your hands. Get out of the car. Put your hands on your head. Hey, put your hands on your head. Listen to me. Right now. You're going to get tased. You're going to get tased. Put the phone down. Drop it. Now get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. On your stomach. Now. On your stomach.
Why am I being...
I'm going to tase you again if you don't get on your stomach. You ready? Get on your stomach. Listen.
Call the police, please.
Get on your stomach.
I didn't do anything, I swear to God.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm mentally ill. I'm mentally
Put your
ill.
hands behind your back.
I didn't do anything. Call the police, please.
So as you already know, our suspect was identified as Brian Bennett and he was born on the 15th of August 1983. And this stop happened on the 18th of August 2024, so perhaps he was still celebrating his birthday. And Mr. Bennett received some gifts in the form of charges from the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Those included fleeing to elude a law enforcement officer, driving under the influence, fourth or subsequent offence, and resisting arrest without violence. Mr. Bennett was arrested, as you just seen, and was transported to the Marion County Jail. While at the jail, Mr. Bennett refused to perform field sobriety tests and did not provide a breath sample. You may have heard Mr. Bennett claim that he had heart problems and that he was mentally ill, but according to medics that responded to the scene to check on him, they said that he was in good health. And this wouldn't be Bennett's first rodeo with a DUI, as this will be the fourth time that he's been caught driving under the influence. So it remains to be seen when Mr. Bennett's streak of bad decision making is going to come to an end. Hopefully sooner rather than later, before he hurts himself or somebody else. Next up, we're off to Queens in New York, and more specifically the Corona section of Queens near 34th Avenue and 99th Street. And coincidentally enough, this incident happened on the same day as the incident that we just watched in Florida, the 18th of August 2024. On that Sunday afternoon at around 5 PM, officers from the NYPD tried to perform a traffic stop on a vehicle. The suspect failed to stop and fled the scene, and in the process struck an NYPD officer and also nearly hit a small child walking with her mother. He also struck multiple other vehicles in his attempt to get away. Let's take a look. Unfortunately for you guys, you're going to have to put up with me narrating over this one as I had to silence the audio. But you can thank the video editor over at the NYPD for that one, as they put a hideously loud metal track over this. It's loud enough that, coupled with the background noise of the incident that's happening, it's hard to actually concentrate on what's going on. And second of all, I don't know if it's a copyrighted track and I don't want to find out either. But anyway, let's get into the video. So here we have our officer who's attempting to stop the vehicle, and it's this white Infiniti that you see here. The suspect attempts to flee and reverses up onto the sidewalk, and you can see here a mother and her young child are walking just feet away. And as you'll see, this driver has absolutely no regard for the safety of themselves or anybody else. The suspect manages to get the vehicle turned around, and before he heads off down what looks to be a one-way street in the wrong direction, manages to strike this officer here. The officer attempted to jump out of the way but ended up pinned between the suspect's car and a parked vehicle. Officers then gave chase to the suspect, who struck multiple other vehicles in his bid to get away. Luckily, the mother and child who were walking on the pavement weren't injured, but I'm sure they were shaken up as that was pretty close. The suspect later abandoned the vehicle and police pursued him on foot, where he was chased onto the number 7 subway line, then onto a nearby building where he was trapped and ultimately surrendered. The officer who was struck by the suspect when he was attempting to flee was treated for non-life-threatening injuries and is expected to make a full recovery, and the suspect was arrested and taken into custody. And as you can see here, quite a crowd of spectators up on the rooftops to take a look at the drama unfolding. So a very dangerous situation here for the officers involved and of course the general public. That officer that was struck with the vehicle was very lucky not to have serious injuries. And I can't help but think about that mother and child. If they had been just a couple of feet further up the footpath, we could have had a real tragedy on our hands here. And it was also dangerous, the officers having to pursue him up on top of that building. But thankfully the suspect was apprehended in the end and nobody was seriously injured in this one. Well guys, that's just about all we have time for this video. I do thank you very much for joining me, and if you did enjoy the video and found it informative, please don't forget to go down below and drop us a like, as it is very much appreciated. If you like what we do here and you'd like to help support the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that down below in the description. Or if you'd rather, just go down below and hit the little heart button to send us a super thanks. You can also help the channel out by joining the Wolfpack and becoming a channel member. You can find out more information on how to do that down below in the description. That being said, I'd like to give a massive shout out to the crew of legends that are my channel members. Thank you very much as always guys for your continued support and encouragement. It is very much thoroughly appreciated. And I'd also like to give a shout out to everyone watching this with me on the premiere, our premiere squad. Thank you very much for joining me guys. As always, I'll be back in the next couple of days with another video. I do hope you'll join me then. But if you're looking for something else to watch after this video, why not check out one of the videos that should be appearing on screen now. Until next time guys, stay safe, take care, peace.